Hey guys, so today's gonna be a little bit of a different one. I'm gonna keep this a live stream instead of actual video so that if anybody comes in, they have questions, they can ask me in real time and we can go over the answers together. But I'm gonna keep this strictly to just how to build roads, the simplest way that I know. And I'm going to preface this with you do not have to do things this way. Everybody has their own little way of doing things, and that is totally fine. This is more of a guidance on things that if you don't realize that could help you, might actually be able to help you. And I have no idea why I have a crane that is moving on its own. That was very odd, but okay. Um, If you've watched the previous streams, you'll notice why the asphalt here is completely jacked up, for the lack of a better term, and it's just simply because of the multiplayer uh, bug that's going around. But we'll get it straight. I'm not worried about that right now. So what we're gonna do, the first thing, we're not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna pave half this map. There's a section right here at the end of this bridge, and we're gonna pave it and create a two-lane road right up through this intersection right here. The only thing that I've already done so far is just clear out the trees. And that's it. And that's totally fine. You can ignore everything else on the screen, the failed route, all the other stuff. This is a single player map that I've been working on. And this is one that I'm going to clear out completely, but that's neither here nor there. This moment is to show you the what I have personally found to be the easiest, most effective way to create a road that not only looks professional, it looks like a real road that you would come across in real life, and it's completely viable. It's two lane. There's you can have traffic going both ways. There's no ridiculousness, no crazy humps, curves, bumps, all that good stuff. So just right off the bat, clear out the area. Just clear it out. It takes a few minutes. It's not that big of a deal. If you want a good quality road, take the time. It's not going to be a 5 minute deal, just run through it and you're done type of scenario. There's sections of track and a rock here that I can see right off the bat that's I would call debris or trash that just needs to be removed. And that's not hard to do. I'm going to leave this dozer right here to warm up, just because I'm into the merging stuff, which you don't have to be, but it's totally fine. So I need a vehicle that's got a crane on the back that doesn't have a bunch of stuff in it, just to get rid of the debris. And I'm just looking. I thought I would have one like right there, but I guess not. And that's totally fine. Let me see here. I've got so much equipment on this map. Hey, there we go. That's perfect. I did have one here. I would go down the road, but I haven't cleared the rocks, the boulder landslide thing that's going off down there, so we'll just go around this way. But this most likely will not be like a 3, 4, 6 hour stream, anything like that. This is strictly just to show you the whole road building process. Good Lord, that's a main issue. It should not have bounced that much, but man, we won't get into all that. As far as realism goes, hey Matthew, what's going on, man? Good to see you. And good morning to you. How's your day going, man? And I thought about doing this as a regular video, and I thought, well, what if people have questions on something I didn't cover? you know, or somebody's curious about something I didn't even talk about. So the best way I can figure is we'll do it like a short live stream. I'm guessing maybe an hour. That's what I'm guessing. If it takes longer, it takes longer. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay. But I'm not too worried about that. I just wanted to make sure everything was interactive. Hey, Taz, what's going on, man? Good morning, Chris. Today's going to be a good day without your crew joining you and sleeping in. Would you get a lot more work for yourself to get to it? Chop chop, lol. Yeah. Um, well, we're not going to talk about that. I do have a good crew. They are some awesome people. And I can't wait to expand that crew. One day we're gonna have like a 64 person crew, even though you can only do 4 people on here. So Matthews just finished a key for a Nissan, heading to make one for a Mustang. Ooh. That reminds me, I got to find a key fob for this Dodge Ram that we have. I ordered a fob a while back, but the alternator was bad. We didn't know it, and it wouldn't charge the batteries, and the batteries were too low to program the key fob, and there's no passenger door lock. So I got a key fob. It's around here somewhere. Now I just gotta find it, and then I can program it. So this isn't too bad, but this is very clearly an uneven surface. I mean, obviously, even a blind man can feel this. This is not right, which is nothing against blind men. Just saying. Okay, and we're just going to get rid of this debris. It's not technically in the way, but at some point it's going to be. And if there's something that's going to slow you down from your progress because you got to deal with it, just go ahead and just knock it out while you can. It's much easier to go ahead and take care of this right now than to have to deal with it when you're in the middle of something. So we're going to go ahead and say, number one, step one, clear out the debris. Get rid of all that trash. Get rid of everything that's in your way, that could be in your way, that might be in your way one day. Just get rid of it. I mean, if you're looking for a decent road, that's what you're going to have to do. This is not a strategy for... Yeah, I know Dodges are super easy to program, and if I could find that key fob, I could have it done in like 10 seconds. I have no idea where I put that thing. And I think it's only like 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon. I could go get another one, but it's the principle of the matter. I do have one in my possession somewhere. Just where, I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, I mean, how long did that take, guys? Like, really? I'm really not going to worry about that boulder, because that's not going to go away. I can relocate it to where it looks somewhere more aesthetically pleasing, towards the trees or something. We're not going past this intersection, so I'm going to park these vehicles. Always keep them on one side of the road in case you have to create a route. You don't want to have to go back and move, 5 or 6 vehicles, because one, your route's going to drive through them. But that's a whole... We'll cover routing later. For right now, we're just doing the roads. So from the end of this bridge to this intersection, nice and simple. Realistically, I'm going to predict that it may take up to 1 hour. Could be more, could be less. But you don't want to give yourself a time limit. You don't want to say, oh, I got to get this done now. You tell yourself you want to get it done right. It may take you 15 minutes. It may take you 6 hours. But you want to get it done right. And when you're done with it, I promise you will be a lot more proud of it than just, oh, we just put in a road, it's no big deal, and then say that you know how to do roads and you don't have a clue. And if you tell people that and you actually don't have a clue, it doesn't look good on you. You become untrustworthy, and people tend not to listen to you. So I'm going to preface this right now with saying that this is not the absolute perfect way that you need to build roads, period. I'm saying this is the way that I do it, and the results that you get are fairly decent. I will actually show you. Actually, there's a scout right here. This is one of the bases that I've already paved. It is not perfect, I will say that. There needs to be a little bit of a curve right there instead of that like 30-degree pointed angle. There, you will see imperfections, but I want you to think about it. When you build roads, do they look like this? Like, I don't have the rail covered up. There are a couple issues that I could go back and refine, and clear things out. But is your road 2 lanes wide so you can have AI routing and get through all at the same time? Or is it all jacked up? Can, the worst vehicle in this game is the 18-wheeler with 2-wheel drive, no diff lock, all that good stuff. If the 18-wheeler can't get through this road, then it's not a road. It's just a project. Okay? This is not perfect. There are lots of imperfections here. But that's why it just takes time. I'm not done with this road by any means. But this whole thing is 2 lanes wide. It's not a ridiculous height. There's no crazy bumps or insane curves or cliffs or unevenness. I mean, there is a little bit, especially through here. If you want to, well, I'm not going to talk about Jeff's roads. I mean, he's like 30 hours in. He's going to find his path within time. And maybe he'll even watch the video and he can recommend this to everybody and boost my subscriber count. And nudge, nudge. But yeah, a lot of it's laying out groundwork, which people don't love to do. And you can see right here, it's just all sand, but it's almost ready to pave. Almost. Not quite there yet. But one day it will be. And the thing is, take your time, make sure you know what you're doing. And if you gotta, change things around a bit, that's what you gotta do. This guy should be nice and warmed up now. And just FYI, that's for my own immersion. I know that vehicles do not require to be warmed up on the game, but I did this in real life for many, many, many years. Long before I became an instructor. I did concrete and asphalt, and we did roads, sidewalks, curbs, parking lots, all that good stuff. So I'm not going to say I'm the expert, but from what I've seen so far, there should be a decent guide. And it should be a little bit more in depth, and it should be able to help you guys. There are a couple of videos out there, and there are some flaws that I saw with them, and I figured, I can help you guys. Like, if you're interested in knowing how to do this, I can totally help you. And hopefully my knowledge will spread to some degree, but it may not. Now, I can sit right here. Alright, so we clear the debris. Second is to clear the trees, which I've pretty much already done that. There's going to be stumps, but I'm not worried about that right now. But I can sit at the middle of this, on the other side of this intersection. I'm roughly about the center of the road. And I can point this thing directly at that bridge. And you can visually see with your own eyeballs that it is not perfectly lined up. That's okay. You need to pre-plan. How are you going to make this line up? How are you going to make it look like a real road? Obviously, if you go straight there and then you connect it straight to the bridge, there's going to be like a 10-degree offshoot turn to it. And instead of doing that, making it look amateur, why don't you add a 10-degree curve somewhere in the middle of this? I don't want to do it immediately after the intersection because there's trees on the right, as you can see. So maybe once we get past the trees, we can turn right about 5 degrees and then turn left about 10 degrees or 15 degrees. And then we'll be lined up perfectly. And it'll be a nice little curvy roads. Also, a quiz for you guys in chat. Why do roads have curves in them? And you're not allowed to Google it, damn it. So don't you dare. Okay, so this dozer is the only one that kind of does this. The other one doesn't. But this thing will actually tear into ground if it's too screwed up, and it'll help you level. Alright, this is like step number 3. Just level it the best you can. If it doesn't do it, you can always go into manual mode and that'll definitely do it, which I may end up doing because it's not liking this particular soil. Hey, Joe's in the house. What's up, man? Yeah, it's not really liking the soil too much, so I'm just going to switch it over to manual. And I may just back drag it. It's a lot easier to back drag than try to adjust it every 3 seconds for the terrain. So there's a lot of hills in here, which you don't want, obviously. Excuse me. So we're just going to back drag it a little bit. We're going to clean it up as much as we can within reason. I mean, you could probably spend days doing this, but I don't see anybody that would want to spend days doing this, except for probably me, so because I am a bit of perfectionist. But this will give you a rough insight. You don't have to do these steps exactly to the T, but I promise you, if you take something out of each one of these, out of any of this video, it will help you. Even if you already know how to build roads, you may come across something you didn't even know. By the way, this bulldozer should be part of the Reclaim expansion, I do believe. So, I mean, you can do this same back dragging in manual mode with pretty much all the dozer blades that offer it. This one just seems to be the most effective for the task that I have. And every piece of equipment in this game has its own effectiveness for a particular task. You know, they're not all good at everything, but some of them are really good. I guess form the curve is speed and drainage. Actually, you're partially right. Drainage or runoff has really little to do with curves. We found out during the creation of the Autobahn, and we know who made that thing. But through the creation of the Autobahn is straight roads. It's all straight roads. They go through mountains, they build bridges to keep it straight. But what they did not realize at the time is when you have a long straight road, people become road hypnotized and fatigued much faster than a curved road. So the United States interstate system that was created by Eisenhower, or he's the one that signed off on it. I mean, he didn't build them himself, but Eisenhower was the one to implement that whole system. When they designed the U.S. interstate system, they designed it intentionally with curves in mind. And there are actually sections of straightaway that are intentional. They're meant to be as an alternative as a runway, which is why interstates have a median. If you're not like in New York City or Jersey or something like that, where you got a bunch of K-rails or barriers in the middle, for the rest of the United States, there's always a huge median. Just seems to be just wide enough for an airplane to land. That was not accidental. That was completely intentional. And the curves actually keep drivers awake and alert. Having to make constant adjustments means you're constantly paying attention. If it's a long straight road, like if you're going across, I want to say it's I-80? Yeah, I-80 through the Great Salt Lake Flats outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. It's a straight shot. And if you've ever been on the road, you'll see signs about every 15, 20 miles that says, if you're fatigued, pull over. If you're tired, stop the car. Take a break. That's because there's no curves. It's just a straight line across the desert. And they recognize that when designing these roads. So having curves in a road is actually quite intentional. It's also economical. Sometimes it's easier to curve a road around a mountain than to either go up or down it or carve through it. So it's whatever's cheap, more cost effective and cheaper. This road, Yeah, it's a little bit jacked up, but it's not that bad compared to some areas. But this is worth a straight line for the most part. I mean, a couple little curves in here, but I mean, you can already see the difference. I mean, it's not perfect, and you're not going to get it perfect just on the grade, but you're going to get something close to it. I'm actually going to switch this up. I'm going to flip it around because we're not having much luck going in this direction, which you will have that issue. And this bridge may need to be rebuilt. I don't know. But I'll tell you once we get grade set. So, when I talk about a grade, the grade is at which you want everything to be for where it's at. Like there's a grade for the dirt, there's a grade for the asphalt. Both of them are different. You want to get the grade for the dirt set before you get grade for the asphalt, because grade for the dirt sets the grade for the asphalt. Pretty simple. It's like making a cake. You want to make sure the top of the cake is flat before you add the icing to it. And the level of the cake is naturally going to be lower than the level of the icing. Otherwise, you're just going to have cake come through the icing. It's that simple. It's like building a cake. This is not exactly the way I wanted it, but I can work with it, but I'm not 100% happy with it. I see the height of the bridge. And one thing I do not want to do very close to the bridge is exceed that height for the end of the bridge. Because you want to taper off of that bridge and make a smooth transition. If this thing will even... Okay. She was doing good at the start, but I'm starting to think maybe I need to switch up dozers, because this is starting to get a little bit obnoxious. Because I could have had this done a little bit quicker. So we go back to efficiency. This thing is obviously a lot bigger, a lot slower, and I'm sure it consumes a lot more fuel than the other ones. So I'm just going to park it off to the side right now, out of the way. Always put your stuff out of the way. And I had a dozer over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I'm blind. So we're going to come over here. I'm just going to grab this dozer real quick. I'm going to try my best to stay on topic. I know I can get a little bit sidetracked, but that's my, ADD and autism thing going on. But I will try my best to try to stick to the subject at hand. And it's strictly how to build a decent road. You don't want to go crazy with this. I know people come down, they'll throw tons and tons and tons of sand down. They'll create a mountain, and then they'll grade it once or run through it once, and then that's it. Okay, this guy needs to be in manual, and I need to be facing the other direction. I need to back drag with this guy. This guy does a lot better at back dragging than he does pushing stuff. So, it's okay to have curves in your roads. It's okay for them not to be perfectly level, perfectly straight, no elevation change whatsoever. It's okay to change all that. It's just the transition at which you do it. It needs to be smooth. You need to picture I'm not going to say that you need to, but I would suggest picture a road on rail line. Is it bumpy? Is it smooth? Can you take it at 45 miles an hour? Do you have to slow down to 15? And what would you have to do to change that if it's something that you don't like? Obviously, if I built a road in the condition it is right here, it would be extremely bumpy, extremely uncomfortable. You'd have to slow down if you didn't want to lose your freight. My goal is to create a road that's not perfectly flat. That's never the goal. You're never going to hit that goal. There's always going to be imperfections. But I want to create a road that's smooth enough I can take a loaded tractor trailer or even the lowboy, put the heaviest, most top-heavy equipment on it, drive it through here unsecured without having to worry about it fall off. If you have to worry about equipment or any items you may be hauling down a road that you created with the straps on, much more or less off, the road's not done. You haven't done it yet. You're getting there, you just haven't finished yet. That's all. This game will bring you some frustrations. There are some things that it cannot do that real life can do. I can dig down into this a little bit, make it smoother, but I can't go as deep as I truly want. And I am getting rid of these stumps intentionally. They'll go away anyway, but I'm not really worried about that aspect right now. I'm just trying to smooth everything out. And I'm wondering how many of you have played this game and you didn't even know you could get rid of stumps just by back dragging a blade near them. Just didn't like that. So take a little bit of tension off the blade. There is kind of a really big hill right here, but we'll do our best to knock it down. Because when we get the dirt section graded, you don't want there to be bumps or angles or like this. You can see it's clearly angled. It's not level, from left to right. You don't want that in a road, ever. Unless you're in a curve, which in this game, it doesn't really allow for that. I mean, you could do it, but it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm not worried about tearing down that tree because that's not one we could have cut down anyway. So we wouldn't have lost any money from that. But right now, this I know this doesn't look too bad, but it's so not good enough. Right here on the right needs to come down dramatically. So right behind us as well. So it's not a quick process. It's not a 5-minute fix. It's never going to be a 5-minute fix. If you want something done to where it looks decent and it looks a little bit realistic, it's going to take some time. But luckily, I'm going to share some news that not a lot of people know about this game, apparently, from what I've seen. And this is pure speculation on what I've seen. But this game does not have a timer. There is no mission end. It's not Helldivers. You don't have 40 minutes before your extraction shows up and you're left behind. You can take your time. It's totally fine. This game will, if it's in your library, whether you're on console or you're on Steam, it will be there when you come back. It's not going to go away. It's not going to run away. It's not going to find a new owner, a new home. It's going to be there. So take your time. There's a reason why they say slow down, smell the roses kind of thing, because it enhances your gameplay. If I'm just relaxed, just doing this, like you set yourself little mini goals, like I'm not going to make this road, I'm just going to grade it. If I said that, then that makes the anxiety and the worry of finishing this project a lot less important, or a lot less stressful. It's like, okay, we'll just do that, and then we'll go from there. That's why they do things in steps. You never do look at everything as just once like, oh, we got to build a road. That seems like a lot. Yeah, it would. That's like, hey, we got to move a house and everything in it. That's a lot. But if you tell yourself, oh, we're just going to move all the stuff out of the living room today, or out of the kitchen, that's no big deal. I mean, it's still a lot, but you can always break it down like, oh, we're just going to move the couch today, or we're just going to get rid of the dishes out of the cupboard. Something that simple. You break it down and it seems a lot more realistic, and don't give yourself a time limit by any means. By the way, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about this, feel free to throw it in chat. I'll do everything I can to answer your question. And if I simply don't know it, I will tell you I don't know. I'm not one of those guys that knows everything in the world, or pretends to be. So if there's something I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But by God, if there's something that I do know, I will let you know. Apparently that's one of my flaws that I've heard about. So, allegedly. But I hope you guys are doing all right. For those of you that just are coming in kind of midway, you really haven't missed much. You always get the chance. This will be uploaded the second it's over. So if you missed the beginning or you missed anything throughout the video, you can always go back. I'm not taking it down anytime soon. Y'all got plenty of time. I don't want anybody stressing out over that. But you can see, like, we've already been in this for about half an hour. Obviously the road's not built and it's not a long section, but it's starting to look a little bit better. You don't even have to go this far. This is more just an instructional on how I'm going to do this. So I want to make sure I cover every step. I don't skip over anything. But you guys can just see from this alone, you can kind of figure out, you can see how this is going. It's not perfect, not by any means, but it will be there. Okay, the smoother you get this, the easier it is for you for the next step. This applies to all the steps, every single one of them. So the more time that we put into this, the smoother the next step is, and the less work you have to do. So right now I'm just going to try to see that little mound right there. I can't do anything with. I just went right over it and nothing happened. And that's just the game limitations, which, I mean, that's fine. For what the game is, it's pretty amazing that is a limitation. I can take that because there's nothing else that comes close to this game that's like that. So if it's not going to get perfect, don't stress yourself over it. When I get into the next steps, I can actually show you how to get around little issues like that. And again, these are the ways that I have figured it out. I'm not going to say these are the ways that you should do it. These are definitely the ways that I would recommend doing it. But you do you, boo. You do your thing. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I mean, that's totally fine. And if one day you host a multiplayer game and I happen to pop in and I see your roads, if they look like trash, I mean, I don't care as long as you haven't watched the stream. But if you've watched the stream and you know better, we're going to have a chat. Like, bro, like, there's a difference between not knowing and just being lazy. I mean, that's the biggest difference. You can tell just by going into random online rooms. You can tell who's being lazy or not. Okay, so this is not perfect, but it's not bad. It's a lot better than what it was. Okay, and it may look kind of ugh, but that's all about to go away because your next step involves sand. And I do have a dump truck over here somewhere. There he goes. Don't look at my roads. Your roads actually really aren't that bad. There are few critiques that I would add, but I'm never gonna like, oh, here's what's wrong and here's what you're doing wrong and blah blah blah. It's to each their own. Everybody does things differently, and that's totally fine. And some people may like the way that their road looks. And it's going to be hard to navigate around this catastrophe of, which I do have video of everything that went wrong here on one of my previous streams. I think it was like single player ? Did they fix it? And this is your answer if you're wanting to know. So if you don't want to go watch like 2-3 hour stream, yeah, there's your answer. So we're going to get over here. We're going to throw some sand in. It's totally fine to throw a little bit extra, but it's also totally fine to throw not enough. Because sometimes it takes a little while to get the feel for this equipment. Every dump truck's a little bit different. Every dump truck does its own thing. They have their purposes. This one I found is the best for making roads. Some people like the Wayfarer, or looks like a Western Star. I don't really care for it just because of the speed of the dump bed. Now, you need to think ahead. Like the end of this bridge, we want the asphalt to be perfectly level with the end of this bridge so there's no ramp. But as I drop dirt here, it's going to want to fall down the cliff under. It won't collide with the road. It'll go under the bridge. And I'm trying to get a good view of it, but I can't get the camera right. But it's going to fall down that cliff, which tells me that this bridge is not long enough. That's totally fine. I'm going to use this bridge as an example, and then we'll replace it later. But this is the grade that I want. I want the bridge, or I want the road to be level with the end of this bridge, without the ramp. Okay, so we'll start throwing dirt down. I know the first one, or the first trip, is not going to be enough. You already know that. Everybody knows that. Okay, but I'm not going to immediately go back and throw another load down. I'm going to throw this load down. I'm going to grade it, smooth it out, take a look at it, and see what we're working with. I'm going to try to dump this about the center of where the road's going to be. I'm not going to kill myself trying to make sure it's center, but you know, you don't want to break your back doing this, but it's not that, because once you grade it out, things are going to change, and that's totally fine. What I like to do, and I notice a lot of people don't really notice, throw this sucker in the low gear, and it'll drop out when you're lifting the bed. Look at the height of the sand that you're dropping. You can notice that the sand mounds that I've unloaded are roughly about the same height as the tailgate, the bottom of the tailgate. I mean, right there it doesn't look like it, but if you see back here, it's roughly about the same. So you want to maintain that consistency so it looks the same but throughout. So you can see that I'm not like immediately just going full tilt with the bed. I'll do a little bit. Track dump truck for the win. Well, yeah. I mean, for certain situations, I would say so. I wouldn't do it for this road, for this section. Anything swampy or mountainy or any difficult terrain that this guy would have trouble, because he does have a low clearance. Right there where it articulates is really low. So you don't want to do too much off-roading while dumping. I mean, you can do it. It's not very realistic. See, I'll go up a little bit. And here's the beauty about this. You don't have to floor it. I'm not even hitting the gas at all. I'm letting the sand do the work for me. And look how uniform that's coming out. And if it starts to drop a little bit, just raise the bed up a little bit. If it takes you time, it takes you time. You know, it's better to slow it down, do it right, than to speed through it and it look like trash. And trust me, everybody will know it. So, they may not say something, but we all know. In the world we live in, I agree that you should never be judged, because we all got issues. But this is reality, and you will be judged. This is just the way it is. You know, so you just deal with that reality. So I'm going to take my sweet time. I'm not even going to press the gas. All I'm doing is controlling the flow of the sand. And she's just going to roll on her own. If it's leveled enough, if you've done your work, you should not have an issue. Now we are technically past the intersection, so I'm going to pull this guy out of the way. You see how I have vehicles parked on both sides of the road? That's a no-no. And I just did it to myself. Because if you need to grab some other equipment, now you got to move 2 pieces of equipment just to get through. So keep everything off to one side is so much more helpful. And the long, it's less work you have to worry about. Alright, so when we get to the sand, okay, just be aware, this may be too much. This may not be enough. But this is the base of what you're working with so far. If it's too much, we can come up with different ways to fix that. If it's not enough, we can just add more. But it's better to do this one run, grade it through, see how it looks, than to go through, add a ton of dirt, and then you've got a road that's 20 feet off the ground. It's because it's just so high. And then you wasted that 20-30 minutes it took to dump all that sand. You just basically wasted fuel, sand, and all your personal time. You know, when you could have been working on another section. So the first thing we do is we go down the center. Fairly simple. This creates a 1-lane road, and that's fine. I vote perfect amount. Yeah, well, that takes time. A lot of people aren't going to come through here and then be like, oh, I know exactly how much dirt I need to spread at exactly the right points. A lot of that just does not happen. So, you know, take your time, get to learn it, get to know it. If you feel a little bit self-conscious about doing it on multiplayer, do it on a single-player game. Because you'll do the same thing when you get on multiplayer. If it's a level road, you can grade both ways. But if there's ever an elevation or a gradient that you have to follow, always push downhill. Unless you're trying to get rid of sand, then you push uphill. Now you can see as soon as I started grading, all that sand's falling down. So I would have, in order to get it level with this bridge, right at the lip of the ridge before it becomes a ramp, I'm going to have to fill in all the way probably to the second or the third pillar, which is a lot of sand. It may be cheaper just to go get another concrete slab and extend the bridge just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start here, and we're going to go off to the side about halfway. So I'm looking at the left side of my blade. It needs to be about the center of the sand pile that you just did. And then when we turn around and we come back the other direction, we'll do the same thing. And that'll create your 2-lane width that you need for asphalt. That is just the asphalt. That does not count any shoulders. If you want to have a dirt shoulder or not, I like it for the main roads, but not necessarily for like the back roads and stuff, especially if there's like a little bit of a natural shoulder there in the first place. Like if you look past the intersection on the left, to the left of the dump truck, there's a natural shoulder over there. There's no reason for me to add a shoulder. But if you look to the right of the dump truck, there is no shoulder whatsoever. So if I want a shoulder on the left, maybe I want one on the right. So it may not look even, but you'll have shoulders. See, now we're going to go back the other way, and look how it is already. It's not going to be evened up perfectly. It's going to take a couple passes. You can tell there's a little bit of a ridge line right here on the left. That's totally fine. Right now, you're concentrating on getting the width correctly. And you don't need to go out like 30 feet off to both sides and create a runway. We're not landing 747s or C5 Galaxies out here. We're just driving vehicles, making sure that they can pass each other safely. And that's all there is to it. But you can already see it's a lot smoother than what it was. But it'll take several passes to get it perfect. That's just the way it is. There's really no way around that. So even though this creates a dip right here, it will actually be level to about right there where my blade is. We go back to right there, would be a safe bet. So if I can get the elevation right here the same as the top of that bridge, not the railing, but the actual bridge, which is pretty close to it right now, then I can extend the bridge to right there and we'll be good to go. And it is 100% possible. It's not even really that difficult. So we're just going to make a couple passes here. We're going to make sure it's right, make sure it looks good. By the way, this blade loves to get hung up on the ends of these bridges. I'll actually show you. Right here, we'll go forward. It actually made it over this time. But most of the time when you get to that ramp or one of these sections, it does not like it. Yep, see, I've got it floored. And it is not happy. It's actually digging into the bridge. So we're going to back up, pick it up. But if you can get it close to the end of this ramp, it'll go down the ramp just fine. Right about there. Might be okay. That was kind of iffy, but yeah, it's alright. So, I mean, you can already notice we didn't do that much work to it. I haven't put the curve in yet. That's because we don't necessarily need to. there's easier ways to deal with it, but you can see little imperfections right here. That little bush I'm going to ignore because that's just a visual glitch type thing. It's not going to affect anything. It hates wood bridges. Yes, it does. But there's a secret to wood bridges too. Did you know that if you hit them at like a 10-degree angle, as long as you don't touch the railing on the side of the wooden bridge, it'll slide across it? As long as you don't come at it at a perfect 90-degree. I've found that it's a minimum of about 10 to 15 degree angle. Works perfectly most of the time. But when it comes to this game, there are always exceptions. So don't ever write anything in stone. Alright, so we did all that. It looks fairly decent. I'm going to extend a little bit further out. Now, instead of making sure I have the correct width, which we're already there. We have the correct width. This is a 2-lane road. Right now, I'm looking at the right side, and I'm making sure that the shoulder of this thing is fairly decent, not crooked, not bumped up, and all messed up. Well, I don't mean like sideways, just not straight on. If there's like 10 degree off of it, I didn't mean to say 90 degrees. That was a Floridian misquote thing. Yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, if you take your time, I mean, yeah, it's going to take a couple passes, but of course, if you took one pass, it's going to look like trash. They always do. Yeah. Not landing C5 Galaxies, LOL. Have you managed to send the AI drivers? They can't drive worth of crap, so you need a runway for... I mean, in a way, yeah. But I'm going to show you exactly how to get around that. I'm thinking about doing a separate stream to show exactly how to work AI traffic to the best of your ability. It's not perfect by any means, but you can definitely make AI do exactly what you want it to do. It's just how much work do you want to put into it. Yeah. I wouldn't say AI needs enough room for a C5 landing. I would go with a C17, maybe, but not a C5. I mean, that's... The C17, yeah, most likely. Alright, so while we're grading this, and I'm working on the right side now, I'm also looking at exactly how level is this that I'm going over. I'm just keeping a little bit of a tab on where are the spots where it's not perfectly level. And I don't mean lengthwise, I mean by the width. So from left to right is the vehicle leaning in any direction. I can see a little bump right here by my back tread on the driver's side. Okay, so that's an issue. Just recognize it. There's one right here on the left. Okay. There's going to be a couple through here. There's one right down the center. This is actually a fairly decent one right here. This is a result of when we previously prepped the area with the other dozer. There was just a little bit, it wasn't quite level enough. Okay, so we do have the width that we want. It's a little bit bumpy. It's a little bit uneven. This is not by any means ready to pave. Not even close. This is what you would consider a rough draft. A very, very rough draft. But now we know. So, would it benefit from throwing a little bit of more dirt down? Absolutely. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this guy out of the way. I'm going to make sure I put him somewhere where he's useful as soon as we're done throwing this dirt, which is probably right about there. And we'll grab the dump truck, fill it up, and back it up to the beginning. And I'm not going to throw down as much dirt because you can see how much it put down the first time. It created a 2-lane road that's pretty big enough. That's plenty of dirt. So I'm going to be a little bit more sparing with it, but I'm going to try to be uniform as I can because I want this road to remain level. for the most part. There may end up being a few slight inclines and declines in it, but for the most part, it's going to be level. And again, I want to make sure I get as close to the center as possible. You can visually see right here, I mean, there's a big difference between the right side and the left side. And we'll get all that straightened out, but we're just going to take our time with it. I've got it in low gear. We're not going to floor it through here by any means. But I'm going to take my time. And I'm going to watch this. And you can be real precise. I can throw down just a little bitty tiny bit of dirt just like that. Or I can back it up a little bit and I can throw down a lot. It's just how much time do you want to take? I'm going to add a little bit more over here to kind of even it up a little bit, but it's all going down that hillside. See what I mean? It'd be a lot easier just to extend the bridge by one slab. In some cases, it doesn't even take the extra slab. You can add this extra and it still says, 5 slabs like it did before. How much work and how much track points you have left. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't take into that account. They're like, oh, I have 200 points that I can create a route with. Let me see if I can do it in 50. And then they're like, why did the route fail? It's maybe because you used 50 instead of 150. Maybe you built the route in 5 seconds instead of actually looking at what you were doing and taking your time. It's like I keep saying, people always act like there's a time limit on this game, and I don't know why. Okay, so I'm adjusting how much I'm putting down just by the bumps. Where it's nice and level, I won't throw that much down, but where it's bumpy, I'll add a little bit more, just a tinge. But overall, as I spread this, going back and forth, it'll kind of even itself out a little bit. But you'll be able to visually tell the areas that need a little bit more attention. So, at the beginning of this video, I predicted that it would take me about an hour to make this road. We're at 52 minutes right now. So, like I said, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's shorter. And that's why I said don't give yourself a time limit. I did that just to show you exactly how that works. Things sometimes just take longer. That's part of construction. That's why you look at road construction going down the highway and you're like, man, they've been out here for 3 years. Why haven't they done this yet? Well, this is the reality of construction work. Not everything happens exactly according to plan as precisely as you plan. Now, if you look at where we are right now, you can actually see a curve start to form between here and the dozer. And then there, it's pretty much straight. Well, it's a little bit of a left curve. But it's naturally starting to form, and you're not having to force it. That's just going to come as you go. It's going to develop. Unless it's like a huge curve, you really don't have to worry about it. And if you're going to dump a lot of dirt in one area, that's totally fine. Just make sure you dump it in the widest part possible. So if you need to disperse it a little bit more, like I'll even show you right here. Say I want to drop a whole entire load of dirt right here. It's totally fine. You know why? Because there's a huge intersection right here. There's a road going to the right. There's a road going to the left. So I've got 4 different directions I can spread this dirt. So I'm just going to drop a full load right here, as much as I possibly can. And this may look like a disaster right now, but when I'm done, it won't be. And we're not adding dirt to the forest or the desert or to the wilderness that we don't need to. And you see I about screwed up again and parked this guy on the wrong side of the road. These are bad habits. You gotta break them, because they're just setting you up to do more work later. Although I don't want to be too crazy with the edge of that little ravine there. Okay, so one more try through here. See, it's going to look like it's a little bit too much right now. And this is something else you can do too. If you end up, so we know how it is if you don't throw enough sand down or dirt. I'm just going to say sand. Screw it. So we know what it looks like when you don't throw enough sand down. You still got the bumps and the ruts a little bit. Things are still a bit uneven. Um, Damn it, helper! You can't. A full load of sand. A full load of sand. Don't read chat, guys. Don't. Damn it, helper. But anyways, um, I'm going to show you what happens when we know what happens when you don't throw enough sand down. Oh, that's going in Discord. I can see it now. Chris quote. But I'm going to explain to you how we fix it when it goes too much. Yeah, this is clearly a little bit too much for the center, so we're going to repeat the same steps that we did last time. And you'll watch everything just kind of naturally smooth itself out. And it's going to be totally fine. That tree's probably going to end up falling over, but I'm not too worried. Don't you laugh at the tags. I told you not to read the chat. Jeez, man. You guys never listen to me, I swear. As I do an instructional video on how to do things right. Yeah. Okay. That tree's probably going to go as well. They don't like being buried in sand. Unless it's one of the permanent trees, which there are some of those out here. Okay, so we're running into a little bit of a issue right there, but that's fine. That's no big deal. We're going to adjust the bridge afterwards. Try to overlap as much as I can here. Oh, backed up a little bit too much. There we go. Oh, the thing's getting stuck. There it goes. Okay, the arm got stuck on the railing there. So if you get to where you notice there's too much sand, and in this case it's just a slight, maybe a couple inches too much, but you can tell the road is a lot better now. It's much more level. There's a lot less divots and ruts and bumps and all that stuff in it. But if you notice there's a little bit too much, just make another pass on the outside that's a little bit wider. Just a little bit. You don't have to go crazy with it. You don't have to do like an entire, like half of a blade out or anything more than that. I'm actually going to take this and we're going to turn it just a little bit so we can add to this road. And look, that looks really nice. It's not bad so far. Now I will say again, this game is hard to get things perfect. If you are a perfectionist, you will spend days trying to fix this. Trust me, because I know. You have to find a median. I don't care about these signs because the signs are not relevant to me. They don't make any sense to me. I'm from the United States, and the only thing that makes sense is the falling rock sign, but I don't know why they have it as a yield. Because in the United States, triangle with red is a yield. So, I think this is in Europe somewhere. Which, if I ever have to go to Europe and I have to drive there, I will study up on the road signs there before I do all that. I'm not going to go in blindly. But I don't see that happening anytime soon unless somebody wants to, like, give me a round trip, 10-day vacation to Germany or Ireland or something. I prefer not England because I can't drive on the wrong, or on the other side of the road. Just, no, I can't do it. I have to take a taxi everywhere. Oh, same thing for Australia too, which I would love to visit Australia, just not drive Australia. So you can see most of that dirt has been, or sand has been dissipated. It's not a giant pile anymore. It's not a full load of sand anymore. Yeah, this tree is definitely coming down. And I'm totally fine with that, because now you can see a little bit better. And you see I'm not overlapping that middle ridge. I'm using that as like a visual cue to stay on my side. So I'm sure that it's okay to be a little bit wider than what you need to be. It's not okay to not be wide enough. And I'll show you that once we get to paving, which actually will not be that long from now. Thomas, I also gladly accept a 10-day trip. Well, the problem with that, Thomas, is it's got to be work related. So it'd have to be some kind of YouTube Roadcraft thing related for the 10-day trip. But I'm not sure if you work, Thomas, you might have to get time off. I don't have to do that. So, are we getting paid for this OJT? Just asking for a friend of crew. LOL. Yeah, you guys are getting paid in my gratitude. Like, all of it. I would give you guys 100% of all my gratitude. I won't even keep any for myself. Now look at that. We're going down the center to get rid of the ridge. Sometimes you're going to have more ridges than just the center. Like I'm going to end up developing one on the left side of this dozer. I can see it right there. You may, and a little bit on the right too. So you may have to make multiple passes to get rid of it. That's totally fine. It is a lot easier to run this dozer up and down this dirt road and get everything level than it is to try and roll it out once you've already paved it. Because the roller does a really good job at getting rid of imperfections, but it takes time. And it takes a lot more time if you're doing it in a roller than doing it with this dozer. This dozer will get rid of that ridge in one pass. That roller, it's probably going to take about 10 to 20 passes to get it perfect. So now we're on the rinse and repeat of making the grades pretty much set. We know where we want the road. We got it the width that we want. We just got to smooth it out for the asphalt. And so this is what I'd like to recall the rinse and repeat section of the road building process. You're just going to do this over and over until it's the way you want it. Some people may want it absolutely 100% perfect with not 0.01 imperfections in it whatsoever. That's totally fine. I'm not going to worry about the end of this bridge right here because we're going to extend it. And some people may not care as long as it's like 75% done. And that's totally fine too. Just don't call it what it's not. You know, don't say it's perfect if it's not perfect. You know, you can say it's near perfect, or it's okay, or it's done, or it's good enough. I see a lot of good enoughs. And that's totally fine, because a lot of people don't have the patience to come through here and spend the time to do this. It's not in their attention span. And I totally recognize that. I got no shame on it. It's like, you do you, you know, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But this is for the people that it is their thing. They do want to get it right. And they do want to make it look halfway decent. Yeah, and I can tell you right now, this road is not going to be 100%. Hardly any road in this game ever is. There's always some kind of weirdness or glitch or just something you can't get past, simply because of the fact that it's not real life. You got to look at it for what it is. In the long run, it is just a game. So now we're down to one ridge in the middle. Okay, enough for the mission, mostly. Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of people just get through the mission, move on to the next thing. And I mean, that's cool. The way that I look at it is like, I like to progress. I like to get there. But I'm in for the experience of the game. You know, the next mission, the next map, the next vehicles, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be there when you get done. You know, it's not like you got to hurry up and do it or it's going to get scared and run away. You know, you're good. You know, and that's a lot of people just, I think it's the whole gaming mentality of trying to rush and speed runs. Let's hurry up and let's do this, let's do that. And it takes away from the experience. You know, it takes away from the immersion, the experience, the insight. You know, it's just, oh yeah, I beat the game in 13 hours. Okay, cool. What can you show me? What did you learn? Can you give me tips about this, about that? No, I just beat it. So okay, well, Didn't really learn anything. Just, okay. Anybody can speed run. You know, it was like my thing when I used to do Minecraft, which I'm not exactly out of. I'm still into Minecraft. I'm just kind of burnt on it right now. And I have been for a while. You know, anybody can create a dirt hut and survive if you're familiar with Roadcraft, which I think pretty much the entire gaming world has some familiarity with it. But anybody can build a dirt tower, a dirt hut, they can survive. You know, anybody can do it. Not anybody can build like a 30-story factory slash industrial hub that's got a completely automated network and processing and everything. You know, that's where the difference comes to, like, oh yeah, I can beat this game in 10 hours. Yeah, you can also survive in Minecraft and get to the end in 10 hours too if you do it quick enough, but you don't have stories to tell, you don't have experiences to share, it's like wasted. You know, it's like going to a really fine restaurant and saying, oh, I can eat this steak and shrimp in 5 minutes. Yeah, you could, but did you enjoy it? Yes, Tad, you are 100% right. Also, when working with multiplayer, see who likes or wants to do what. That helps as well. It's always, when you're dealing with any kind of team, and I'm not saying this out of just my thoughts or pure speculation. There's always a part of that in everything I say, so you just go ahead. Might as well prepare for that. But I have owned my own businesses. I have been an employer. I've been a team leader. I've actually dealt with, like, instructing, all that good stuff. I mean, pretty much you name it. As far as teams, employees, jobs, all that stuff, I've dealt with it. Okay, and I will say that delegation, part of being a leader, is absolute delegation and trust. A lot of people like to be hands-on, and that's fine, but that is not the job of a leader. If you're leading a crew on a construction site, your job is not to do all the work on the construction site. Your job is to delegate. And then your job is to trust that that delegation was correct. So, for example, Taz, if I told you I want you in charge of all the routing, the AI routing, and you agree to it and you're like, oh yeah, sure, okay, I can get that done. It's my job to trust that you can get that done because you told me you could get that done. If you failed to do that, it is not on you. It is actually on me because I hired you to do a job that you are incapable of doing. And you did not recognize that you were incapable of it, which tells me that that was not the job for you. Does it mean you need to be fired or replaced? Absolutely not. It just means you need a different assignment, something that's more suited to you. A lot of leaders, their bosses or employers, do not understand this. They get frustrated. Oh, you didn't do it right. I guess I got to do it myself. No, you never do it yourself. Why are you paying people for you to do stuff? It makes no sense. If I hire you for $10 an hour to mow my lawn, do you think I'm going to get out there with a lawnmower and mow it because you didn't do it right? No. Find somebody else that'll do it for $10 an hour and do it right. And then if you seem to be a good person, you got good work ethics, and you're a hard worker, I'm not going to fire you. I'm just going to find something else that you can do instead of that. And that is part of the whole multiplayer aspect as well. Some of you may remember World of Warcraft, or you might still be in it. You know, you have your healers, your tanks, your DPS, everybody has their role. And it's the same thing on construction crews, it's the same thing with road building, it's the same thing with everything. When you involve multiple teams or multiple people on the same team working on a single project, everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, and As an employer, it's your, or a leader, it's your responsibility to find out who has what and to delegate that properly. Another big thing is trust. I know I mentioned it a little bit, but I didn't really go into depth on it. If you do not entrust somebody that you assigned a job to or offered a job to, if you do not trust that they will do that job, neither will they. I want you to take a minute and think about that. If I say, helper, I need you to go build this road, and I don't really trust that you can do it, when you get there, you're going to feel the exact same way. He doesn't trust me. Well, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe I'm not good at building this road. Maybe I shouldn't be building this road. And the next thing you know, you're not concentrating on making sure you do a good job. You're concentrating on, why am I not trusting you? Which is a distraction from actually doing the actual job. And then what happens? You end up doing a shitty job because you were thinking about other stuff than the actual job. Okay, so this is not absolutely 100% perfect, but it's close enough, I would say. It's pretty... There's a couple little areas that could use some improvement, but for the most part, that's not bad. I can see it dips down right there. Yeah, we can fix that. That's no big deal. I'll take a few seconds to fix that instead of 30 minutes on a roller. Chris Helper, do you guys remember Lemmings? Where you assign each little member to do something kind of thinking. Lemmings? I've never heard of Lemmings. I'm curious, but I've never heard of it. So this one we're going to... ooh, there's a bump right there. I just saw that. That's not good. But that's okay. That, I could probably just roll that out. That's no big deal. And I'm also setting us up for when we continue this road after the intersection. I'm going to stop it about maybe right here where the blade is right now. That's where I'll stop paving. But I want to make sure I overlap so it's a smooth transition if and when I continue with this road. I get a 97.4. Well, wait until it's done. I want everybody to give me a score when this is done, from 0 to 100. I want to see what y'all's opinions are when it's done. We're a little bit over our time limit, but that's just like being over budget or the project's being a little bit behind, and that's totally fine. I'd rather the project take a little bit longer than expected than it coming out worse than I expected. I do remember Lemmings. My grandpa had it on his Apple PC. I've never heard of Lemmings. Is that something, like somebody's going to have to explain that to me, or I might have to Google it at some point. Just another thing for me to Google. I'm sure that'll be fine. Just hit my mic there. Sorry about that. We're pretty much done. I just want to get rid of these little ridges right here for the most part. There is this little bump right here on the right side of my blade, right here. I know you guys see it. I hope you guys see it as much as I do. That is not a big deal. That will actually roll out very easily. Okay, so we've got this part pretty much set. Also, I don't know if anybody's noticed. When the blade is down, it kicks up dust, but when the road is perfectly level and ready for asphalt, you will see no dust. So you see there's a little bit of dust? Then we get to a really bad section. Oh, look, no dust. Now a bunch of it. When all that dust goes away, the road's good. It doesn't get no better than what you got it. And it may not be perfectly level, but with the sand that's available, that's the best you're going to get. So if it's not level and you don't see dust, look right there, there's no dust whatsoever. And there's dust. So yeah, it tells you where the road's good, where it's not. But if it's still not, it looks kind of jank and you're not getting dust, you need to add a little bit more dirt to that section. And that's all. Um, so I'm going to consider this done for the most part. Okay. And we're going to work on this bridge up here. I got to figure out what to do about this guy. Because technically, I guess I could extend it out to there rather than moving the entire bridge. I mean, I think there's concrete slabs over here somewhere, or I left some. There's a bunch of scrap concrete down in here. Or there was, unless we picked it. No, it's still there. Lemmings were mindless blobs that would just keep moving forward until they hit a wall, or you gave them a direction. You had to assign them jobs that would then help the others to complete the task. That actually sounds kind of fun, to be honest with you. I'm not going to worry about it. We can fix this bridge. That's no big deal. Let me get the dozer, or let me get the dump truck over there. And we'll go ahead and move this guy down there because we're going to need him as soon as we get that sand spread. Now I know this is kind of on the level of perfection, kind of, sort of. The difference in grade between the sand that's thrown down and the asphalt that you're going to throw down is roughly about 2 inches, as it is in real life. Depending on the use of the asphalt, it can be anywhere from 2 to 6 inches. I've seen it as thick as 12 inches, which is, to me, is extremely excessive. But on a neighborhood road, it's about 2 inches. On the highway, it's roughly 4 to 6 inches, depending on how heavy the highway use is. But the more asphalt you use in real life, the more pliable it is, and the more it has a tendency to start to divot, like running heavy equipment or heavy loads over it. And I mean heavy loads of freight, helper. This one's going to take a couple of dumps of sand, but I'll get it up here. It's not that bad. Hopefully. Yeah, I think we'll be alright. If not, it won't take us long to find out. See how that sand's gone all the way down to the second pillar? So maybe not the third pillar, but the second one for sure. But our goal is to make this level, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so we got a little bit coming up, but you got to realize when you go to grade this, or level it, as some people call it, it's gonna go down considerably. So you want to make sure you're higher than the actual bridge, which isn't going to be hard to do. Just keep doing this over. But luckily for us, it's not going to take that long, I do not believe. It's kind of already starting to smooth out. One of the most difficult parts of this, when you're dealing with bridge to road transition, is the edges. It is difficult, but it can be done. You just got to go a little bit wider when you begin the road. So all that stuff's still falling down, so I'm just going to keep adding to it just for now. We are so close to starting paving. I just want to make sure that this part's correct. You can see off to the left right here, there's this huge dip. That all needs to be filled in. I apologize for the camera like jumping around, but over here it's not nowhere near as bad as over here, but it definitely needs to be a thing. But we don't want to go too crazy with it. That's why I don't have my part brake set, so if it gets too high, the truck will start to roll forward and dissipate it a little bit, just like that. That's what I'm looking for. What's going on, Steve? Good to have you jump in here, man. Oh, we're just learning how to make roads in the most inefficient way. So, I'm just kidding. Uh, trying to figure out ways to ban Helper from talking in chat so he doesn't say embarrassing things that are inappropriate. I don't know how well that's going to go over, but well, I know how well that's going to go over. It's not really going to go over at all, really. Now, in this game, it's hard to measure things. Don't you start Helper. I'm talking about as far as elevations, widths, lengths, all that gets in reference to the road Helper. Damn it. Gonna get me demonetized. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of difficult to gauge things. Yeah, there we go. We'll say gauge. Yeah, that's a good descriptor. So you want to use other things as references. Like the concrete bridge, for example. The wide concrete bridge and the wide wooden bridge are great examples on how wide your road should be minimum. The minimum width. I like concrete roads better, or concrete bridges better than the wooden bridges. Mostly because it seems more structurally sound. I don't want to drive 120,000 pound dozer over a wooden bridge of any kind at all. It sets off so many internal like warning sirens in my head. Just for like growing up around all this stuff. So I like the idea of a concrete bridge, but the concrete bridge is not as good as a wooden bridge width-wise with traffic coming back and forth, but it can happen. Now, I would set all my roads to the exact same width of this concrete bridge, except for we do have some equipment that can take up almost the entire width of the concrete bridge. And in that instance, I don't want to have to deal with all that. You know, I want my roads a little bit wider. I want a shoulder, just in case I need to run a piece of a white equipment down the road and not have to worry about running into AI traffic. And Steve says, I was playing Roadcraft last night. I only play single player. I noticed on one of the roads I paved just for a mission a while back, the pavement ended up looking like Baby Mountain. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's just what happens. It's like you gotta kind of slow it down. Take a breather. It's okay. You know. If it doesn't look right, don't roll with it. You don't have to deal with that. You can always take your time and slow it down. Do things the way that you want to do them. That's why it's your game. It's your single player. You do what you want, how you want to do it. Hopefully that was enough to level that out up to the bridge. But there's always one way to find out. I'd rather do this and not have enough sand than do it and have too much sand. Because then you create like a mound at the end of the bridge. And it is always better to come off of the bridge than it is to aim towards it when you're doing this kind of stuff. It was finished, it glitched. Oh yeah, when you do like the AI ones, or the ones for the missions, they always do their own thing. No matter what you do, they're going to do their own thing. And that's just the way it is. But the beauty of it is you can go back, tear up the asphalt, and build one again after you've completed that mission, and you can do it the exact way that you want to do it. So when you drop the blade here, it creates the grade standard for the bridge. It's not going down to where the dirt is. It's only going to where the bridge is. So it'll level from there. So as we pull away, you'll notice it's almost the same exact grade as the bridge. Which, in this game, you want that to be a thing, and you also want it to be approximately, if you want to get precise enough with it, approximately 2 inches below the grade. So when you throw the asphalt down, it'll be spot on the grade. But sometimes it doesn't always work that way. See, it seemed like we threw enough down, and obviously we did not. And that's totally fine. I'm just going to make sure all this is nice and neat. We are almost ready to asphalt this thing. But you could always tell, just use the side view if you don't trust yourself. Like that first one was perfect, but as you go and you start to widen this out to make sure it's the same on both sides, you'll notice it starts going down, and it's just, all it's doing is leveling the sand, which is going to happen. And I'm going to get rid of this rock if I can't. Nope. No, I like that rock. I don't want it to go away. Yeah. We'll just keep that. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I should probably summarize this up and not get it completely perfect for you guys. See how I caught it, and the blade caught it. Was not happy. Once you get past the railing, you're solid though. Yep, right there. And I'll actually try to back it up just a little bit. There we go. Oop. Oh well, it's good enough. Yeah, once you get past that railing, you're solid. But yeah, we obviously need to come back through and throw some more sand down. It's very apparent. By the way, guys, how do you know when or not how do you know? When does a joke become a dad joke? When it's apparent. So, yeah. Try to forget about that tonight when you go to sleep. Oh, I'm out of coffee. Dang it. This may actually end up being a 3-hour stream. I didn't plan on it being one, but this was a particularly rough section. But it definitely can be done. Even if we're not able to do it today, it definitely can be done, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it's done today. Even if it takes a little bit extra time sometimes to get your asphalt on the ground. Give it a second. I'm going to let that die down a little bit and see where it ends up. Usually if the mound stays right where the ramp begins, pretty solid. But if it keeps falling past that, like it's doing now, might be a little bit too, not quite enough sand. So just to be on the safe side, I'll throw a little bit down. That's no big deal if we do extra. I think that should definitely be sufficient enough to get this done. If it's not, then I trust that you guys already understand the concept and the idea. I don't need to like visually show it to you to prove it. Like you'll see it when you do it yourselves. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to get all the way there. Yeah, we might be okay. Let's see. So dust is kicking up. I'm just going to keep going until it stops kicking up all that dust. And that'll tell me that we're good. Which it really is not stopping. So, I mean, that's good enough. It'll be fine. Come on, back up. Why are we not backing up? Thank you. So you're hitting the S button and nothing's happening. Yeah, so when I actually pave roads, I like to go just a little bit wider than the width of the bridge, or the width of the concrete bridge, to be more specific. Oh, I don't like how that came out. Yeah, I don't seem too happy about all the bumps and ridges. This actually could be because the bridge is sitting a little bit too low. Possibly. But I can still, I might be able to smooth that out with a roller. Let me get this left side right here, and then I'll reassess real quick. Truck needs to go in for maintenance. Okay, so it's very bumpy right there. I'm very confident I can roll that out. I don't know. Also, if you throw asphalt down and it's not quite high enough, or it's too low, asphalt gives you a base. Sand will not go through rolled asphalt on this game. It'll stack on top of it, or it'll fall down beside it. So it gives you like an extra base to work with. So say that asphalt isn't high enough when we lay the asphalt down right here, and it sits too low, I can come back, throw a little bit of sand, and it'll pile right up on top of the asphalt and won't cause it to dip any further. So now we get into the exciting part. Oh, dang it. Curtis knocked that barrel over. Dang it. He's always knocking things over. I'm devastated I'm actually out of coffee. Oh, that's so annoying. So I know that everybody has their own preference on how wide they actually want the road to be for them, and that's totally understandable. I'm just giving you my preference and what works for me. You can use it, you can copy it exactly, you can mold your own thing off of it. Just, take whatever experience you get from it and make it your own. It's totally fine. Now, normally, we would just pave it from here up. But because the game has the steering kind of wonky and backwards on this game, I'm flipping this thing backwards to get more of a precision run. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the width of this thing when it's extended. You can do this on the bridge. There's no harm, no foul. You're not damaging anything. So this is about as centered as I can get this thing. We'll extend it out and see how far it goes. Okay, so just past the railing on both sides. So if you built a road and you want it to match the width, there's going to have to be some overlapping. I like mine to be a little bit wider. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Start off on one side. I'm going to make sure these tracks are on the other side of that yellow rail. Like right there. That's all I need. It's for them to be over there. It doesn't have to be precise. I've visited many of online servers. I've seen a lot of videos and pictures of this paving stuff, especially bridge to road transitions, and I have not seen any that are perfect yet, including my own. So I'm not saying that you can totally do this and get it perfectly right. We're going to start right here. Yep. And now, for this first pass, if you're looking the same direction I'm looking, the arm on the right-hand side of this paver, you're going to want to run it in relation to the right side of the road. don't worry about where the center is. A lot of people try to center it up, and it never works out. You want to pay attention to the right side. Nobody cares about the left side. You're going to overlap anyway when you go down the left side, so it doesn't matter. My goal is to watch the right side and make sure it does nothing crazy, obscene, or unpredictable. And most of the time, that's why I'll run it in low gear. So if something does go wrong, and things do go wrong, they will go wrong. The best thing you could ever do is just hit the park brake or just stop immediately. Stop paving, adjust your equipment to where you need it to be, and then resume. Don't try to pull out of it. Don't try to save it. You're not. This isn't a game for superheroes. You know, you just stop by all means. It's like if you're driving down the road and you hit a vehicle, you don't try to save it, come out of it, or try to undo it. You just cause more damage. You hit a vehicle, just stop. Reassess it, you know. Don't try to drive out of it. I've seen so many people try to do that. Okay, so so far it's not perfect. Ooh, that's not good. Yep, she made a little bit of a turn right there. It's because there's that little bit of ridge line. That was not perfect. And if I would have taken a little bit more time, that wouldn't even be there, but that's totally fine. I can roll it out. Okay, and that's good enough for that side. Now, I know that I have to overlap. This is not wide enough to do 2 full passes, and there's really no point in doing 2 full passes. You're not going to be that wide anyway. Find your little reference point on the paver that you can use for the asphalt that you just laid down. For me, it's the actual edge of this thing. Like you see this little control thing right here on the right hand side? That's what I'm watching when I'm looking at this asphalt, this line of asphalt down here. So I'm going to line it up just a little bit. This is why you go slow, because if you're going fast, it happens too quick. Alright, now we'll extend it. Now you can see I'm not going by the digital gauge anymore. I'm going by where it was, which is the edge of where the extension starts. I'm going to pull forward nice and slow and easy just to match it up with the other side. And as soon as I match it up as close as I can, hit the park brake. And then put it in reverse, and then we're going to run it with the line. This is the perfect width for me and the way that I do things and the equipment that I run on these roads. This also ensures that every road in your map is the exact same width. So nothing looks really weird or wonky, or you know, you don't have like a 2-lane road that turns into a 1-lane road, goes around a curve and turns into a 4-lane road, and then back to a 3-lane road. It's all 2-lane. Fairly simple for the most part. So we're running roughly about 38 minutes behind on project time. This may take us a total of 2 hours instead of 1 once I roll it out, but I'm not looking for the most absolute perfect road. I'm looking for a road that is functional. I can get 2-way traffic on this road. It's smooth. It's not abrasive. I don't have to worry about equipment or supplies or anything falling off of vehicles or things coming undone or unsecured. There are certain objectives on these maps where you have to haul fragile things, and hitting a bump, even just a tiny one, a little bit too aggressive, actually unsecures a load. It damages the load, and you lose your safety bonus for delivering the load. By doing this, it does eliminate that, but that's totally fine. Now, some of you may notice how it's like really weird as far as the asphalt right down there. Can we go forward, please? Thank you. There's like little dirt patches right there at the end. That's where there was not enough sand for it to basically asphalt over. So I'm going to make sure the paver's over here close by, because I'll have to come back and clean that up later. But that's no big deal. Everything in here can be redone or undone or fixed or destroyed for the most part. Getting rid of sand, making it disappear, is a lot harder. I've seen a lot of people mention about that, and it's been a thing, and I know devs have touched on it very briefly, but they may be looking into it. But I don't even want to talk about the whole dev thing right now, because I'm very sore with them at this moment, considering we can't play multiplayer and pave roads. I mean, we can do everything but actually pave a road. This asphalt that I'm doing will glitch out, which is the product of all those holes over there, because I had 2 other guys come in and check out, see if they fixed it, and clearly they did not. And then I will answer for you guys the age-old question: is rolling in high gear or low gear any different? Okay. And if you really want to know the answer, I will let you know in exactly 18 streams from now, and that's 3 hours apiece. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'll let you know right now. The answer is yeah. Yeah, there is a difference. Just from my experience, I know it's different. Container pad, you drilling core samples, LOL. Yeah, that's I think that was a joke that Helper made about it, that they were taking samples to check the quality. That was the multiplayer thing. You can go back and watch that stream before, but you can see like this bump right here. That's clearly where I do believe I stopped at some point, just backed up instead of actually. So I can smooth this out in high gear. It's totally possible. Well, yeah, you can pick up rocks. I don't know if you can pick up the small ones. But, I mean, we could totally test that out in just a second here, because I do have a thing right here. Which map? Helmy, I'm on Contamination, I do believe. Yeah, it's the first map of the first expansion, which is Rebuild, I do believe. Yeah. But this is pretty much the same for generally all maps. Is most of the instruction that I'm giving you guys, are the demonstration. So here's the rough numbers of it to those of you that are just into numbers. Yeah, I know this looks horrific right here, but they'll actually help me demonstrate the difference between high and low on the paving. If you ask Gemini or any kind of Google AI or search the internet, you're going to get millions of different opinions. Everybody's got a different thing. I'm just going to tell you exactly what I've experienced. The first time through here is high gear, always. Because a lot of this does not need to be smoothed out. You know, a lot of it is perfectly fine, but there are areas that do need to be smoothed out, as such there are when you're doing this in real life. Actually, Helmy, I do allow co-play. I love for people to come out and help. Right now, we have a asphalt glitch that is refusing to be addressed by the devs. So any asphalt gameplay is all single player for right now until they get it fixed. But usually at nights, we do a whole team thing. So, but I'm good on this for right now. So the first pass is always in high gear. Okay. And it gives you a good idea on sections that need help and sections that don't. It will level out imperfections, but there's a trade-off. For the speed, you get the intensity. Okay, it's not going to level out as good as if you were in low gear, but it will level it out. You're just going to have to take a lot more passes. Some say it's worth it, some say it isn't. To me, it really depends. If I've got a long section to do, it's high gear. I don't have time to go at a snail mile an hour for a 2 mile section, you know? So, like this section, we'll do this side in high, just so you can see. I'm not worried about the edge right here where it's all jacked up. I can fix that in a minute. But we'll just, we'll take care of this section. Okay, so you can see it is actually smoothing out a little bit. Lots of back and forth. Pretty simple, you know. So yeah, it does smooth out in high gear. Obviously, you guys can see that. I mean, there's like a couple little bumps right there that I can take care of. I try to get the best view, the easiest way for you to see them, but they're not always easy. Yeah, so those are pretty much almost gone now. Yep, see? And we're going to switch it into low. There's no time limit on the game, so how do you not have time? As far as... I'm talking about stream time, man, not like game time. Yeah. Always checking what I say, man. Okay, so in slower mode is obviously more effective, or it's more intense, but it's also a lot slower. So there's a trade-off. I don't think either one is better in particular. I think they both have their attributes, their pros and their cons. You know, it just depends on what you personally prefer. Do you want to run fast and do a couple hundred passes, or do you want to go slow and do 50 passes? You know, or slow and do 10, or fast and do 20. You know, it's kind of got its own little trade-off. So this is all in slow, and you can already see how much it's smoothed it out. So yeah, I mean, it does both. But what I do is, what I've found best for me is on the first pass, once you first throw down that asphalt, the first roll is in high gear. Because not everything needs to be precision rolled out. Most of this road is already smooth. There's no reason for me to go down it slow. You know, you can already see the road. For the most part, it's pretty much done. There's just little issues here and there. See, there's a bump right here on the left. But look at the road already. Look how it is. Like, that's a 2-lane road. It's perfectly smooth, perfectly even. It's the same width all the way down. You know, yeah, there's few imperfections, but you're not going to have any problem getting AI traffic. I still saw that bump. Where'd it go? There it is. And just do a couple passes. Oh, maybe I'll throw it in low gear. We'll see if it rolls out. It's pretty much gone now. Still kind of there. And at this point, I'm just being a perfectionist. Yeah, it's gone. So we're good. And you can do this on everything you come across. It will smooth out. It's just how much time do you want to spend smoothing it? You know. If you're just trying to get it done to get past the level, that's totally fine. Yeah, break out the levels. I'm actually thinking about doing some kind of little, like, experiment thing with it. I don't know. But you can see this is clearly an issue right here. It's an imperfection. Everybody's seen this that's played this game. Or for most of you that have watched people paving, there's always these little imperfections. It takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes to go over this and get rid of it. Why not take the 2 or 3 minutes, man? And it looks so much better. And that's pretty much gone. I mean, there's going to be little remnants of it, but I'm not showing you guys this to be a perfectionist or to show you how absolutely perfect you can do it. I'm just showing you guys how to do it with Chris. It's got to be laser. Yes, it does. It does have to be laser wells. I'm just basically showing you guys how it's done, um, and the best way that I've found to do it. And you can take what you learn from it and go from there. Add your own little spin to it, or do your own little thing. You don't have to use the exact same equipment I'm using. It's just an example. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Let me see here. So, we can go over this little area right here. Since it's just a little bump, I'll run it in low gear. I don't have to go far. Look how quick that disappeared. Oh, so nice. And that didn't take long. That didn't take, a couple hours, a week, month. Just a few minutes. And there's a little bump back here that I see. These are little imperfections. And they're just, that's kind of what it is. Is it acceptable for you and the stuff that you need done and the objective that you're trying to complete? Or would you like it to be better? And if you would like it to be better, then you're in control of that. You know, everything out here is, the quality depends on how much time you want to spend on it. You can make a perfect road throughout the entire map, but you're not going to do it in a day. I seriously doubt you'd even be able to do it in a week if you did a 40-hour work week. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay, let me get this one little spot, and then we'll go down here to this bridge, and I will show you guys how to fix that little transition thing real quick, and then we'll be done. And that'll be it. And it'll be over. And we're at the 2-hour mark. So it took us twice as long so far than what we expected. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to worry about these 2 divots right here, because I'm going to pour a little bit more sand over here to the right to create that dirt road to go out there. I'm not going to pave it. It's going to be a dirt road. But when I do have this done, I'm actually going to bring the asphalt to about right here. So I'll do it on both sides. That way the dirt's not being drug out to the main road. Which I know dirt doesn't really actually, it's just a visual on here. But yeah, and it'll make it look better. Yeah. Okay. Now we go down here and fix this little mess. Which messes will be created. Do not get frustrated if things do not turn out the way you want them to. That's just life. It's going to happen. Part this guy right here. I'm going to grab this guy real quick. I just need to do a visual. I knew I was going to hit that thing. I want to do a visual assessment on exactly what we're looking at here, because I know it's jacked up. I mean, obviously. Okay. I'm actually looking at the blade as well to see exactly how far off this thing is. Yeah. That is way too high, that's definitely something you do not want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit right here. He's eating right now. Hang on. Okay, never mind. Let's see. So we go sand flattening, asphalt destruction. And I'm going to take my time through here. Don't want to get in too much of a rush. A little bit of back dragging. There's 2 different ways you can do this. You can either get rid of the asphalt, or you can pile sand up on top of the crooked asphalt and try to level it out that way. Does not always turn out that way. I prefer to do it this way. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect by any means. But if you just take the time and do the work, man, it's not that bad at all. Yep. I'm cool with that. We'll get rid of this asphalt right where the bridge is. Right where it connects at the bridge. Oh, by the way, the asphalt destruction mode automatically angles the blade on this dozer. That does not happen on the big dozer. So if you feel more inclined to destroy asphalt with the big dozer, I would do that, because it's going to be a tinge bit wider, is what it seems. And now we'll come back in behind, smooth out the dirt that we do have, and it'll actually show you like where the worst parts are. We'll have to add a little bit more sand here. I can see it already, but hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. But then again, once you get all of this to be asphalt, you can just roll it out, and the more you roll it, the smoother it'll be. Yeah. And one of the reasons why I decided to do this on live stream is I knew that making a detailed video on this and showing you guys visually how this would work, there's no way I could really condense it into like a 20-30 minute video. That just wasn't right. And then also, I like the questions. I like you guys thinking of stuff that I didn't think to bring up, you know, and it helps to address more issues than what I thought were actually there. So you can see this road actually has a natural curve to it that I did not intentionally put in there. And that's how you get your curves for the most part. I mean, if it's a shallow curve. If it's like, you know, a turn or something, then that's completely different. Most of the time you just stick to the center of the road and just work out both sides, and it'll kind of play out the way it wants to. Okay, put this in low gear so this thing doesn't take off on me by accident. I'm going to start off very little, and I'm going to let the dump truck roll on its own. I'm not going to hit the gas. So we'll see how this goes. And I guess I need to throw down a little bit more sand. But the good news is we're almost there, guys. Almost there. So I'm not giving it any throttle, and I'm not having any park brake. I'm just letting it do its thing. Ooh, don't you do that. Dang it. Every once in a while it does that with the mouse control, like it thinks I wanted it to go all the way up, and it just takes off. Which is kind of what happened here, but luckily since we're doing this at the edge of a bridge, any extra sand, I can just aim at the bridge with it and get rid of it that way. No park brake. Let's go. Oh, I didn't even have to do that. I thought the roller was a lot closer than what it actually was. Steven. Yeah. Almost. I mean, I get this section smoothed out. I get it paved, and then we're good. Ooh, it did not like that at all. But that's totally fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's totally fine. I swear Curtis is here. He's starting to get to me now. Every time. Curtis, it's totally fine, even when it's not fine. Playing Helldivers with that dude is, oh my gosh. It's fun, but holy crap. Okay, I'm going to grab the other dozer and see. There's clearly some asphalt issues going on under the sand. Over here. Stop breaking my rules. Close enough to the other dozer? Alright, nice. And I hear one of my dogs whining, so give me just a second. Let me see what's going on with that, and I'll be right back. Like 2 seconds. Time's not up yet. I'm back. It's fine. It's totally fine. Let's see. Okay, so I'll bring down the sand flattening, and then we'll do asphalt destruction and see what it does. See what it gets rid of. Because there are obviously some issues right here. I might have to come back the other direction. That's as low as this thing will go. I don't want to destroy the good asphalt that we've laid down. We'll flip it around, see. Like, I wonder if the claw cranes can get the small ones. I'm sure they can, but you'd have to be super precise, and I can do that after, I can check it out as soon as I'm done with this. Come on. Yeah, it did kind of go weird right here. Usually we don't have this issue, but it definitely went weird. There's like all kinds of weird spikes and stuff going on here. Oh, see, yeah, there was a little bit of asphalt right there. See, nothing major, though. We'll go ahead and go to, whoa. How about we not do that? Just sand flattening and see what happens. Okay, we're going to have to hit it from the other side. Shut up, helper. That's not what I meant. Just felt that one coming. I mean, anyways. That's a little bit better. I mean, I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it is a little bit better. I think there's like a little piece of asphalt over here that's screwing the whole thing up. I'm certain of it now. Let's go to asphalt destruction mode. Yep. There it goes. Yep, I knew it. See those little black pieces popping up? That's... yeah. Now let's see if this is any smoother. Stop. I knew it. Oh, look at that. It all cleared out. Nice and neat. Alright. Well, not all of it, apparently. Let me see if I can get rid of this last little bit of asphalt right here. Yep, that's coming up. Yeah, whenever you guys run into weirdness like this, usually it's some kind of remnants of asphalt from before, or something just not right, typically. I see a lot of guys that they try to bury these issues in sand, which, I mean, you can do. It's just, you know, me personally, I'd rather fix it the right way than try to bury it and hide it. But that's my own personal preference. Yep, I can tell there's an issue here. Dang it, I was hoping I could get it, but nope. Does not want to cooperate. Which that's totally fine too, because we can work around that as well. As long as I get rid of those big bumps, yeah, those are gone, should be good. Okay. Let me get this guy out of the way. little bit more. Actually, we're going to need a lot more. I'm not sure what's happening with this sand down there. Is it not piling up? Because that will, on these bigger rivers right here, there's no amount of sand that you can put down across them. It just deletes it once it gets to a certain depth, I do believe. But it does delete it. The reasoning I'm not 100% sure on, but it definitely does delete it. And that's what a lot of people do, and that is an actual viable solution. You can definitely make layers. It's actually a little bit, if you layer it, and the... Okay, so if the first layer of asphalt is very uneven and all messed up like it was here on the end of the bridge, if you put another layer of asphalt over it, I mean, by like putting sand down and then asphalting over that sand, it is exceedingly more difficult to smooth it out than it is to just remove it and start it over. You can do it, but if it's like really jacked out, I personally would not recommend doing that. If it's not that bad, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, doesn't really hurt nothing. But if it's really bad, it would probably be a lot quicker for you to just go ahead and remove it and start over. Yeah. And look at that. I mean, there's still a couple bumps there, but that's no big deal. That can be rolled out. But we're also going to go down the center here, which I should have done in the first place, was do the center run and then do both sides. That way the sand's evenly dispersed. And I think for this next part, I'm going to come at it from the other direction, but I'm going to do it with the other dozer. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do any of that. I know exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to pave it and roll it. And that'll be me showing you guys how you can completely fix this atrocity that I have created. So first thing we'll do here is go straight down the middle. Only because I already have the width, so I don't need to create a new one or reference it until I go down the side here. Always try to overlap onto the bridge if I can. Come on, let's go. And I'll show you why in just a minute here. Yeah, it gets a lot more difficult to control these things when you're on uneven surfaces as well. That's why you always want to try your best to make sure you're as even as possible. Come on, we can do it. Let's go. These pavers, just FYI, do not do well on any uneven surfaces by any means. Like the starter one is horrific. This one's probably about the best out of all of them, and it still gets hung up. But that's the thing, is they're not meant to. These aren't off-road vehicles. You know, they're not meant to go off-road. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way, and I'm going to try to smooth this out real quick. As soon as I can get this thing out of here. Now I am going to block the road this time, mostly because I'm right in the middle of finishing this section and nobody can get through here anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And we'll see what was able to stick and what wasn't. If it's all paved, I can smooth all of it out. If it's got those weird little dirt markings around it, then we have an issue. Which it looks like we're good. Yeah. So I'm going to start in the center and start working my way out from the center. Always start in the center and work your way out. It seems to be the easiest way. Now, I can already tell you, when I'm done with this, there is going to be a dip. But the beauty of that is I can throw just a little bit of sand down and repave over that dip, and this will be perfectly smooth. So I'm totally fine with that, given how close I am to the edge of the whole cliffside thing. Oh, I figured out a solution for that, because yeah, that has been a thing where you would activate the paver and then it just nothing comes out. This is going to sound extremely simple, but this is how it's always. Whenever I've run into this issue, I try this one little thing and it works for me every time. And some of you are going to feel kind of dumb, and I feel dumb for mentioning it, but all you got to do is make sure you're completely stopped when you activate it. So if you activate it and it doesn't come on, deactivate, hit your park brake, come to complete stop, activate it again, works just fine. Every time. For me. That may not be the same instance for everybody, but that's it every time. Every time I run into that issue, that's exactly what I do, and it works out every time. Most of the time I find out it happens when I'm just in a hurry. I'm just activating, deactivating, activating, deactivating, and then a couple times it doesn't work, and I'm like, what the hell? Stop it, deactivate it, and start over, and it works just fine. It's like it doesn't want to activate while it's in motion. More so for me when it's moving faster than slower. Okay, so you see how jacked up this is on this side? I'm going to throw it into low gear. It's going to go slower, but it's going to be a little bit more dramatic in fixing this. Which would definitely be a good thing. So we're not doing too bad. I mean, once we're done with this section up to the bridge, that's it. We are done building this road. Yeah, running off and off. Yeah, that's the only time it ever does it for me. is if I'm moving and I activate it, and if I'm moving too fast. If I'm barely moving, it doesn't seem to affect it. But if I'm like high speed or I'm really maneuvering around, for some reason it's like, nope, not happening. And I gotta come to a complete full stop. Sometimes I actually do have to hit the park brake, and then it'll re-engage. Sometimes I don't, but I definitely have to be stopped. I have noticed that. Please don't drive off the side of the road. It would not be good. Yeah, this one actually has a pretty rough transition. But, I mean, you guys kind of get you get the idea. You know, I could probably, this is probably going to be like another, my pork chop is here. Hey, pork chop, what's going on, man? Good to have you up in here and join us. So you guys pretty much got the idea. This looks like it could be like a whole nother hour for me just to get this section straight. So I will spare you guys the agony, and I will actually show you on a different section what it looks like when it is done. But first thing I'm going to do is get the equipment off this road. Just get it out of here. I'm not going to tear up the shoulder with all this equipment. Just drive it out of here. Oh man, I could have just took it over there to where I was working. Oh well. You know what? I may have to do that anyway, so I'll just go ahead and move everything back over to the yard that I'm actually working on. And then I'll show you guys an example of this being done correctly. So and the yard's right here. How do you like the new dozer? You know, pork chop, to be honest with you, I'm kind of hit and miss with it. You know, there's some things I do like about it. There's some things I absolutely do not like about it at all. And I'm really torn. There are some aspects. It'll push rocks like no tomorrow. It is great for rocks. I will give them that. We noticed that working on the very last map of Roadcraft. And get this guy off to the side over here. And it's okay. I mean, but for like road grading and leveling, man, I don't know. I mean, it's fun. It's an actual dozer. But as far as its effectiveness, it's very slow. You know, this is high gear. Which, I mean, that's what you know, like a big D8, D9 dozer is going to be. You know, they're not out to set any land speed records, that's for sure. So, you know, it's like, it is a dozer. It's going to be a dozer. They do what dozers do. And to me, that's totally fine. I'm okay with it. That's no big deal. I just wouldn't go grade a hideaway with it because you're probably going to be there for a while. Speaking of while, oh man, this guy's so slow, but we're not that far from the yard. I can get it over here and get out of the way. Yeah, Thomas, it does get stuck a lot. I think the hitbox for the blade is set a little bit too low. That seems to be the general consensus among pretty much everybody that's tried it and said something about it. From my point of view, or my perspective anyway. Yeah, that's a disaster right there. But I mean, you can see how I could throw some more sand down, level it. I think the bridge needs to be tweaked just a little bit. I think it's sitting just a tad too low. Over here too, there's no way I'd be able to get sand to grade up to that. So the bridge definitely needs to be redone. So if I'm going to go through the effort of redoing that bridge, I'm not going to try to grade the sand up to it. No, we'll fix it later. But I'll get all the equipment off of here. We'll go take a look at what a proper transition does look like. Just keep in mind, it's not going to be perfection. You know, none of this is perfection. A lot of this was just early done when we were still able to do asphalt in multiplayer. I need to go back this way with this guy. I got a couple of them, so it's no big deal. So, for those of you that just came in, just first of all, let me say thank you for taking the time out of your day to actually invest it in watching these live streams and stuff. I appreciate it. Even if it's just this one, I'm super, super grateful. And I appreciate each and every one of you because it all helps. So let me get that out of the way. Also, you're more than welcome to come back and watch the stream from the beginning. It should be up as soon as the stream's over. So if you want to watch it from the very start, you're more than welcome. And if you enjoy it, please like it. If you like what's going on, please subscribe too. So I need to pay attention to my driving and not my talking. Yeah, this is set a little bit too wonky. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to show you guys this road. Now, those of you that have been here from the beginning, okay, we're going to scratch this part because I can fix it. I just don't want to spend an extra hour on stream showing you guys how to fix it. You guys kind of get the gist. And this is the road. Just finished keys for Subaru, and it's been a hell of a day for a lost car. Okay, he's got 3 more. Oh, I hear you, Matthew. I mean, I just appreciate the time you take. You know, so this is that one little section of road that we built. Took us about 2 hours, roughly, somewhere in there. If the equipment was already here, we didn't have to go get stuff or mess around with stuff. We'd definitely be done with that little section in 2 hours. Which may seem like a lot, but guess what? We never ever have to edit this road again. Ever. You know, and it's worth the time and effort if it's a map that you plan on clearing out, which this one will be barren and desolate by the time I'm done processing all the trees and all the materials. Okay, that's jank. We'll fix that. I'll actually show you guys in a later video. Oh, cool, Joe. But for right now, I'm going to show you guys what this transition looks like. I think I have a bridge up here on the north side that I already did a transition into. This should be fairly smooth. I'm just going off of memory because it's been a little while since I've been up this way. But I do know that I have 18-wheelers coming through here, and they're not having any issues. So I'm going to do something about that eventually too. So right through here, yeah. See, there's imperfections right through here. You can see the little ridge marks. You know, it just takes time. Just take a roller out. You know, take your time, and eventually it'll all be perfectly fine. Same through right here. I think this one is where I was in a hurry, and I actually paved over the rail and never fixed it. But here's one right here. You can actually see the transition from road to bridge. There's nothing. Like, it's nothing. It's nice and smooth. I can go over this at full speed. There's no issues. You know, you can hardly even tell that I just transitioned onto a bridge. This one, I don't think I did this one yet. No, I haven't refined it, but it's already smoother than that. I think there's another one. Oh, that's just access road I built. There's another one down here. I can't remember if I did this one correctly. I did not. I can actually see the ramp. But that's actually not bad. This one I did, I do believe. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you can see the transition is not that hard. All this stuff is fairly smooth. Yep, there goes that rig right there. And then I'll show you what happens when AI gets a chance to do their roads. Now, you can pretty much see the quality of roads that we got going on here. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I thought they were going to slam into each other. That's funny. Recording hasn't worked out for me recently, so it's compilation from. Hey, I mean, whatever works, man. Alright, so this is the section that I stopped, and this is AI roads, or the objective roads that you make. And you can already see the difference. I mean, it's just... Don't you honk at me, asshole. I built this road. You should be lucky to be driving on it. How rude. Yeah, so this is the objective road that was done. And you can see how it looks. Yeah, but, you know, I digress. So we are gonna, I'm not gonna drive this truck all the way back there. I will actually grab another one and we'll go back to the road that we started on. And guys, I can't stress this enough, especially if you play on multiplayer servers. Park your vehicles off to the side, not in the center of the road, please. God, so... I hate having to get around somebody just because they were too lazy to just pull over to the shoulder, man. Just pull it straight over to the shoulder. It's fine. Oh, and those of you that are just joining us and wondering why I'm not doing this with a full crew, this is why right here. This whole pad was paved and leveled and looking really nice. But when you invite somebody onto the server, the game has a glitch for multiplayer, and it just starts deleting asphalt and sand. Like, deleted. Like, wasn't even there. Like, I couldn't make these on purpose if I tried. Yeah, that whole section right there was paved. It actually took out an entire section of road right here. All that was paved. Every bit of that. So was that. That's all gone. Absolutely ridiculous. But the devs felt it was more important that we didn't hear trees falling in the background, so that's what they worked on. So we cannot do anything multiplayer that involves asphalt. Alright, so before we end this, there's a couple things. Number one, if you watched this and you felt that it was helpful in any way, please, by all means, like the video. If you enjoyed the content and you'd like to see some stuff, you could. I got a playlist for single player. I got a playlist for multiplayer, where me and the guys just get in and do our thing. And you're more than welcome to go check those out. Most of them are live streams because this game is not like a 1 hour game. In 1 hour, you've basically just hauled equipment from one place to the next. You haven't even started working yet. So, you know, most of them are at least 3 hours. And I try to get them up pretty often. You know, if it's not every day, it's like every other day or every other day, somewhere around there. But there's going to be a lot more content. I can promise you that. Until there's nothing else that I can think of to do on this game, we'll be uploading stuff. So if you'd like, subscribe by all means. If you thought it was helpful and you're entertained. If not, then hey, thanks for showing up anyway, man. Taking the time. I appreciate you. You know, at least being open enough to check out the channel or check out the video. And I'm grateful that you took time out of your day to at least check it out. There's millions of places on YouTube you can go, and you chose to come here. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Now that that is out of the way, excluding this part at the bridge, because I don't think that's fair, because I'm saving you guys the torture of watching this for another hour, just fixing like a 10-foot section. Excluding this little part, I want you to grade me 1 to 100. Honestly, how do you think this road turned out? We're going to exclude all that. We'll just say from right here, from where my back bumper is all the way to the end of the asphalt up here. How do you think this turned out? I'll even run it in low gear. I mean, you can see. I mean, we got that one rock, but I'll be taking care of that soon. Ooh, this thing does have a winch on it. Can I winch that rock? I can't. So I don't even think you can grab that with the crane. I don't think you can. No, helper, do not park. That's not how that. No, no. That's not how. See, okay. I mean, that's not horrific. I mean, that's better than most of the jobs I've seen on multiplayer, for sure. The body roll on that truck is gnarly, LOL. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got a 98.7, a 97.4. Thomas gave it a 100. Awesome. He's my new favorite viewer. Yep. You can't change it, Joe, from 98 to 96. That's rude, man. Like, once you cast your vote, that's it. It's in writing, man. I think you can with the crane. Let me give it a shot before I get ridiculous here. Because I definitely have cranes here, for sure. I don't want to grab a slow one. I may not have a choice. Actually, I could do it with this. Well, yeah. Let me do it with this truck. We'll do it with this truck, because I mean, it'll be the same thing as the other crane. I got that guy too. But I mean, it's the same game dynamics. But we will go find out, Thomas. For sure. That'd be annoying if you can do it with a crane, but you can't do it with a winch. But just did well, you were doing good enough. See, but the thing is, you already cast your vote. That's not my fault, you know? It does not appear to be so, Thomas. Yep. I can select on all these, but I can't select that rock. Nope. And just to be thorough, I will go grab the other one. Just to make sure. Hey, KSP. Are you a KSP fan? That'd be awesome. He said 97%. That's cool. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. So you can't do it with that guy. Alright. I will try. I'm not going to grab that tracked crane because that thing takes forever. I got two of these guys. One's right there. One's up here. Perfect. Oh, yeah. I had this guy doing logging. Alright, so we'll close that up. Get rid of that. We'll back this guy up. Do this, do that. Change that around. Oh, we're not going to want to back up this time. Okay. Yeah, I know. But that's okay, Thomas, because when it's paved and it's done like that, you can actually take like the front loader and just run the blade and push that thing right off to the side. It's no big deal. I mean, you could actually, if you do it to sand grading, it's not going to do anything to the asphalt, as long as you're on asphalt. Let's get this thing out of low gear, and you can just push the rock off to the side. It's no big deal. I just let the rock yesterday and didn't even try to pick it up. Huh. Now, it does depend on different size rocks. Like medium to large. Yeah, you can pick them up for sure. Especially boulders. But the smaller ones, I don't think it, like the Like that size one, I don't think you can do much with, to be honest with you. But we'll see here. Ooh, nope, nope, nope. Straighten it up. A little bit of delay in control there. I'm gonna have to get all this cleaned up at some point. Oh, that looks horrendous. And get all this equipment cleaned up too. I could have sworn I had a dump truck route coming straight through here. Maybe it failed or something. I don't know. I won't even extend the outriggers for this one. I'll just lift the crane up and see if it selects it. Fairly certain it won't since the truck didn't do it. Nope. Can't do it. Nothing to select. But the beauty about these little ones, I'll show you. I can actually do it with that little dozer right there. It'll screw up the sand, but that's no big deal. Park it off to the side. Don't want to block any paths, especially since that... No, that's not... No. That's just bad. I'll be able to grab that rock there, maybe. I don't know, but not that one. Huh. The only problem is when I drop this to do the sand flattening, like it's not going to mess with asphalt at all, but it's definitely going to mess with that sand over there. Ah. Yeah, I usually use most of the time I'll use the front loader because it gets a little bit closer. So it's actually grading that sand that's on the edge. Yeah, but see, there you go. Not in the way. It's all taken care of. Yeah. So there you guys go. Now, pretty much everybody so far has given me a rating of somewhere in the 90s for this road. I want you to think about all the other roads that you guys have seen, like in joining other maps and stuff like that in other games, and think about the grade that you would give them. Yeah. So, just some food for thought. But there you go. That's kind of sort of how you make a decent road. And we didn't spend too much time with extra sand. We didn't spend too much time with extra asphalt. We didn't have to correct too many things. And the longer the stretch that you do, the easier it is. Like this right here, along with a little bit of lollygagging, we're at 2 minutes and 43, or 2 hours and 43 minutes. Okay, for just this section. If I happen to... That's not the right guy. I want a fast... Where's that fast vehicle? I got the first one somewhere here. Yeah, my scout right there. Oh, he's in the perfect spot. He's exactly where I want it. Okay, just to give you an example. We're at 35% for me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See how all these guys are off to the side? Yeah, so we can get through. We're not actually in the middle doing something here. Now this section, I can't tell you, I don't remember exactly how long it took to pave this section, but up here, I can tell you exactly how long it took. Oh, shut up. Honking at me. You're lucky you can go down this road. Alright, from the start of right here, this was a 2-hour job. Okay? It took me 2 hours to do this whole thing. So even though it took us 2 hours to do that short section, once you get started and you're just running the line, you could just come through here. Now you're going to see a lot of imperfections. That's why it only took 2 hours. But the bottom line is, I got a 2-lane road here. Oh my God. Through most of the bottom side of this map. There are quite a few imperfections that need some work. And that's totally fine. You know, but the important thing is you got a 2-lane road through here. It's not bad. It's fairly smooth. You can see ridge lines. There's a section right here that needs to be worked on, only because cable got laid on the road instead of to the side of it. But I was able to pave all this in 2 hours. Not this side road. That was a 2-hour job as well, which was much shorter, but it was on a big hill. So, oh my goodness. Oh Lord, my dogs are barking for some reason. I don't know why. I just think it's fine. They don't mean no harm. Yep, and it was 2 hours right to this railroad track. So all that section was 2 hours. This section right here was almost 2 hours just for this bridge. And this shows you the transition. This is actually one of the good ones I did. A little bit, but yeah, it just needs a little bit of work and it'll be fine. I still got to do that section up there that goes all the way to where we just worked on. And I'm working on this construction depot. That I paused the work on the construction depot because there's some containers in here that need to be moved. And that's when I started creating that container yard. All this needs to be refined a little bit. I think I got everything on the back side done. No, there's still a bunch of ridge lines I gotta smooth out. But all that back there's done. No, I still got some work to do over here. But it's fine. I think it's because I ran into these containers that are on the rail cars. And I want to get those out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I want to get those out of here. So I started that whole the work on the container yard. And it's all in sections. Ooh, wow, I almost hit that van. But yeah, I'm going to build a nice little smooth transition. It's not hard to do, it just takes a little bit of extra time. The difficulty is simple. It's just the length of the project is intensive, for lack of a better word. We'll go with that. But all this is going to be a paved road at some point. I don't know when. Oh, that's water. That was a sign, but that was not an important sign. That was one of those non-important signs. More like an advisory sign. And I'm pretty sure I saw Curtis driving through here earlier. He probably knocked it over and tried to stand it up. Yeah. Ooh. This thing can actually get some air. This is like a little monster truck. Little Mercedes monster truck. But yeah, all this is going to be paved. And for those of you wondering, I do believe this is the contamination map. And here we are on the road that we were working on. And if I parked everything right, should be able to get through here without a problem. Yep. So, yeah, so I mean, there's a little bit bumps here and there, but for the most part, yeah, it's not bad. And there you have it. So guys, yeah. Thanks. There it is. There's my way of doing things. You guys are more than welcome. Take it or leave it. I hope it helps you. I honestly hope this does help you. So if you're interested, and maybe learning something new about the game, just go back, watch it from the start, man. It is 2 hours of, almost 3 hours basically, of your life that you cannot get back, but hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully. So, but yeah, for those of you guys that are new, that have never been here before, and you're just jumping in, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come watch and investing your time and effort and to the stream that I'm doing and all that. And I appreciate every one of you, every single one of you. Without you guys, I couldn't do this. I mean, I know you guys probably hear that a lot out there across the world in pretty much every aspect, but seriously, like, if I got no views and no likes, no subs, I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, by any means. No. I mean, it probably would, but it'd be very depressing knowing that nobody cares. or nobody finds any interest in this whatsoever. So I do appreciate you guys, probably more than you'll ever know. So thank you so much, and until the next time, we will definitely see y'all again at some point soon, very soon, and we'll go from there. But yep, see you guys later.